In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was made.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Untethered Live on a Sunday night. It's Bible study night, and I'm your host, Jake Johnson. And tonight we're in the great book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 36. Another enumeration. Happens every time, it seems like this time. Happy Mother's Day, all you ladies out there. I hope you had a wonderful day. I hope all of your wishes have been fulfilled. I hope all of your desires have been satiated. And I hope all of your needs have been met. And most of all, I hope that you feel appreciated and loved, because you are. We men could not survive without you, and we children could not survive without you. The sacrifices, the struggles, the work that you put into making a house a home and to making a life livable is unmeasurable in value. And I hope that you know that. Every day of your life, but especially today. Happy Mother's Day. I love you. Hope we have another one next year. All right. Amanda says, hi, UntetheredLive family. Good to see you all. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Hi, Jake. How are you tonight? Mustacheless. I'm flying free. This is what the other half of my face looks like. Wasn't my choice. I cramped when I was trimming. And there went a year's worth of work. But it'll come back. It's on vacation. Amanda says, happy Mother's Day, ladies. Lots of flowers and hearts. Kevin Bernard, what's up, brother? Nice to see you. How are you? Kevin says, hello, Jake, Amanda, and everyone. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Nice to see you. You get a gold star for being first in chat. Here's your gold star. Enjoy. Put it up there next to your roses. Thank you for a cup of coffee. I appreciate that. It's a delicious cup. Hits the spot right there where you need it at 8 o'clock in the evening on a Sunday night. Don't you want to have a cup with me and talk about the world? If so, go to the kitchen, pull yourself up a nice hot cup, and let's get to talking about it. If you don't happen to have a cup or a kitchen or a life, you can get one in the description below. I recommend the first one that has my face on it, the cup that is. The life that's on you. Kitchen, But you can get other things down there too, such as a Bible, or a Constitution, or a coffee maker, or coffee, or creamer, or a Ford F-150. I don't know about that last one, but check it out. It might be there one day. Like, subscribe, share, support, join. Super chats are available in the chat box if you'd like to show a little bit of love, if you'd like to make an offering, or if you'd like to just... You can do that at paypal.me/jakejohnsonband, and I greatly appreciate that very, very much. Thank you, and thank you. One last thing, if you'd like to hang out with us, see what we get up to when we're not here, go over to facebook.com/UntetheredLive chillin' and see what's happening over there. There's a private chat over there that'll be interesting for you because it's just us. There are videos that are entertaining, free, and regularly updated, and they are adjacent to or directly concerning the things we talk about over here. It's educational and fun. You don't want to miss it, so go check it out. And now, on with the show. Amanda says, hamburger helper hand, Kevin. And thanks. Thanks for the happy Mother's Day. Kevin says, did you enjoy your day, Amanda? And Amanda says, I did, thanks. Smiley face. Kevin says, smiley face with teeth. He upped the ante. Did you see that? Oh, thank you. And then I said, happy Mother's Day, ladies. We love you very much. And Kevin says again, smiley faces with teeth. And Amanda says, I even got beautiful, hand-picked, self-stolen white roses. I stole them from me. and you're worth it. Kevin says, sweet. Amanda says, I thought so too. He can be sweet when he wants to be. Kevin says, smiley, smiley, smiley. Here's the link to the chilling page if you want to check it out. Debbie, happy Mother's Day. Debbie says, hamburger helper hand. April Rain's here. Happy Mother's Day. April says, hello, Untethered family. Much love. Happy Mother's Day. Hugs and love. Hearts and roses. And sunflowers. And daisies. Whatever that is. And orchids. I don't know. Other kinds of roses. Amanda says, Debbie, hamburger helper hand. April, hamburger helper hand. Kevin says, hello, Debbie and April. And April says, hi, Jake and Amanda and Debbie and Kevin. Love to all. Or love y'all, sorry. How's your day going? Are you having a good day? Have you had a great weekend, asks April. Yes. Very great weekend. Lots of rest. Enjoyed it. April says, Brother Mike just left and the grandkids too, and we had a nice dinner at home and a visit. Well, that's lovely. Nice to get the whole family together. I spoke to Missy today, too. We had a chance to sit and chit-chat for a minute. She might be here this evening. I don't know. How are you? How are things? Aaron, what's up, brother? Nice to see you. Aaron says, smile and wave, smile and wave. Amanda says, hamburger helper hand, Aaron. April says, hi, Aaron. Love and hugs. Smiley face with herpes. And LOL Jake, smiley face. Aaron says, hey, everyone, I'm about to go for a walk. This is a hard day. I'm sorry, brother. We're here for you. We love you. What it is. What's up, brother? He says, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers. Hello, Untethered Live. Nice to see you, buddy. Sorry. I had something on the roof of my mouth. Kevin says, hello, Aaron. Aaron says, I hope all you good-looking people are well. I hope so, too. I hope you're well, too. If you need to talk, reach out. You know we love you. Amanda says, you got this, Aaron. She's smiling down on you, and we're here for you, too. Heart, smiley face. Kevin says, hello, what it is? Amanda says, what it is, hamburger helper hand. And April says, yes. That's great. I miss Missy and the kids, too. And y'all, too. Me, too. Aaron says, thanks, Amanda. See how it is. April says, hi, what it is, love. And heart. Amber Grounds is here. Hey, Amber. She says, good evening, friends. Smiley faces and heart. Happy Mother's Day. Kevin says, hello, Amber. Amanda says, blah. And Amber says, hearts and smiley faces. Roll call style. Right on. I hope everybody had a lovely day. And we're going to do some Bible studying tonight and just get right down to the meat of things. And I'm going to enjoy the heck out of this cup of coffee. Immensely. April says, thank you for the shout out, everyone. Wishing all of us Mother's Day a happy day. Wishing all of us mothers a happy day. Mine was great. Well, that's fantastic. How's your mom doing? I haven't heard from her in so long, I'm beginning to think she forgot I exist. But I'm here. Amber says, blah. That's short for hamburger helper hand Amber, and it's very hard to say, so I just abbreviated it to blah, which is about. Right. You know. What is in my teeth? I don't know. I feel like something's in my teeth. I feel like Larry King now. I need some suspenders. Hunch over a little. April says, hi, Amber Lovely. Good to see you. I've been trying to smoke this cigarette for 30 minutes, and every time I live lit it 4 times, it goes out. I'm just not having a good day. I'm kidding. I'm having a great day. April says she's all right, not in the best health, but she's stubborn like most of us, as you should be. Well, next time you talk to her, tell her I said I loved her and I missed her. And she can come see me every now and then. I'm not hard to find. Aaron says, something. 𝕊𝕦𝕬𝕪𝕃𝕚𝕧𝕖. I don't know what that means. That's some kind of other language, I think. Amber says, did everybody have a nice Mother's Day? I don't know. I'm not a mother. I mean, mother's in my title, but there's other words. But I hope so. Did you have a nice day? Amanda says, that looks so bad. What the? Amanda's having a fit over there. April says, yes, I will. And she can't see, though, Jake, but she can hear. I talk, too, you know. Set her up with a big button on her phone that goes Untethered Live. All she's got to do is push it. Yeah, put me on the TV. Have a friend join her. One that can see. But I understand. And I love her. And I miss her. Mr. Pickle says hello, by the way. Amber says, April, smiley face. Amanda says, I did, Amber. I got spoiled all day and beautiful, fresh, picked roses. What it is says, took flowers out of my mother's grandmother's wife and sister. Are you trying to confuse me? Is that what you're doing? Took flowers out of my grandmother's wife's. I can't read it with you reading it out loud. Took flowers out of my mother's grandmother's wife and her sister and what would be my mother-in-law's headstone today. And along with my stepmother, so they all got flowers today. Jesus, man. Just say, everybody got flowers. It's easier. Amber says, I'm jealous, Miss Hammer. You shouldn't be. You deserve spoiling too. Don't you? Come here. I'll take care of you. I'll rub your little head. Tell you everything's going to be okay. No need to be jealous. There's enough love to go around. Amanda says, oh, I'm sorry, Amber. Amber says, what it is, very loving of you. Yes, if you could understand it. April says, she's resting now. She's wore out from the day, but I'll tell her, hon. Thank you, and thank you. Aaron says, Dracula. April says, sweet what it is, hearts and prayers. And LOL smiley face. Amanda says, commas, what it is, LOL. Commas, yes. Commas and periods help the reader. Especially when you're laying out 5 different versions of the same thing. Aaron says, I remember one Mother's Day, I didn't have any money, so I went to the rich neighborhood where they did all the landscaping and stole a bunch of flowers from the library and stuff like that. Well, stolen flowers are the best flowers because you risk your life to get them. Women appreciate things like that. It's a small detail, but it matters when they think about it. First, they might be put off by it, but when they think that you risk your life to bring her these flowers of someone else's repute, then they're touched by it. Those are the best flowers. I stole the ones I gave her, too. I just stole them from me. Amber says, in your defense, Jake, I reread that 3 times myself. It was a mouthful. And Amanda was reading it to me while I was trying to read it, which makes my brain go into a delay, which was even worse. It was like bouncing all over the place. But thank you. Aaron says, and I gave them to my mom. She loved them, I promise. She loved them and she appreciated that you thought of her. That's all that matters in the end, is that you don't forget. That's what's important. Doesn't matter if you got money. Doesn't matter if you do anything special. Doesn't matter if you even say Happy Mother's Day. Just don't forget, today is her day. That's it. Amber says 2 sentences at a time. I know, that's how I read, 2 sentences at a time. But sometimes those sentences are ill punctuated and they throw me for a loop. Bill Bennett says, Happy Mother's Day, ladies. Hey, Bill. Come on in, join the party. Debbie, are you doing all right? You've been quiet tonight. How's your day going? Happy Mother's Day. Amanda says, hamburger upper hand, Bill. April says, hi, Bill. Thanks, love. Good to see you. Heart. And Amber says, Bill, smiley face, welcome. What it is says, I've been known to be a source of irritation. I love you. It's hard to read you sometimes, but I love you. And you're here. That's what matters. And we're doing a thing and you're part of it. So thank you for that. Amber says, you're known for something, what it is. I'm not sure, but I think she just insulted you. That is a good cup of coffee. We have been kicked back, just relaxing all day, doing absolutely nothing. It's been an uneventful day around here. And I don't really like that too much, but sometimes you got to have it. Sometimes it's a necessity. What have you guys done today? Debbie says, I'm doing great. I'm just stuffed from dinner. My son barbecued, and I am still eating it. Burping. Ha, 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 ha. He has a heavy hand when it comes to spice. Amen to that. That's the good stuff, though, right? What it is says, that's okay. I pike it. I pike it, too. Amanda says, cuddling, it's been great. We've been doing some cuddling, that's for sure. Debbie says, I think he is trying to kill me for the inheritance. That's not possible. If you have an inheritance, the thought does cross the mind. Amanda says, LOL, Debbie. April says, oh, so sweet, Amanda. I miss him. That's so much. I miss you too. Oh, you miss you know who. Oh. I bet he misses you too. You should reintroduce yourself. Amanda says, oh, April. Well, you have us and we love you. And I'll never quit on you. What it is says spice would be of natural causes. Spices would be of natural causes. No, that would be poison. Heartburn would be of natural causes. April says, well, I'm taking it one day at a time, and I'm working on myself, and I'm getting better, and that's important. That's what you need to do. Worry about you. Get you where you think you should be, and then the rest will just happen. I promise. Amanda says, that's right, April. You're doing a good thing, and I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. All right, we'll go for about 2 more minutes, and then we'll get started. 2 or 3 more minutes. Just want to give everybody a chance. Linda hadn't got here yet. She might not come. She might have a house full. I don't know. I know she said that she wanted today to be nothing on her plate, so she may not show up tonight. But either way. And April says, yes, amen. And thank you, Jake and Amanda, always. Where are we at tonight? We're in Leviticus 26:36. Debbie says, that is true what it is. He forgets I don't like a lot of spice. That is why I think he did it on purpose. He said he was. Haha. Amanda says, and April, you could have somebody to talk to and help you if you ever answered your phone call. LOL. There's Linda. Hi, Linda. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you're having an uneventful, easy day. And Linda says, hello, all in chat, smiley face. We were just talking about you. I said you might not show up tonight, but you did. Amanda says, hamburger upper hand, Linda. April says, I'm sorry, Amanda. I know I've shut everyone out. Ugh. Well, we can't be there for you if you won't let us be. But we will be if you want us to be. Aaron says, Nintendo. Kevin says, hello, Linda. I hope you had a good day. How are you? Amber says, Linda, happy Mother's Day. April says, Linda, lovely. Hi, happy Mother's Day. Good to see you. Hearts and roses and smiley faces and prayers. Hieroglyphics, oh my. We're going to have some pizza after this, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Amanda says, you don't have to go through it alone, April. I've been there before, too. It's much easier with some support and someone to vent to or get advice from. Debbie says, I know what you meant. Pizza, says Amanda. Pizza. Linda says, young Walter brought dinner. Aw. We had a great time, and I love all my kids. I bet they love you, too. I hope that you had the day that you desired, one that didn't require you to do anything. Last call, 2 minutes warning. I got you. All right, let's get started. Let me blow my nose first. All right. Thanks for the reminder. Let's go down, shall we? If you got your Bibles handy, crack them open to that great book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 36. It's where we left off last week. It's where we're going to pick up this week. My God, it's hot in here. And it reads. I got to get it out first, don't I? There it is. Linda says, my son Tom brought me more chicks. Nice. They're not egg bearing age yet. So chicks, I'm guessing babies. So it'll take a little while for they'll start producing. What it is says, I want a pizza of that. Of what, chicks? Chicken pizza? Blah. What kind of pizza are you talking about? Debbie says, Aaron, I got 2 hands. I will take 2 whiskey sours. Amen. And April says, that's awesome, Linda. Aaron says, those chicks are awesome. Little cinnamon nuggets. I want one. Oh, you saw pictures of them? That's awesome. Yep, I've been thinking about getting some chickens around here, but I'm not sure I want to have that responsibility. I got enough on my plate, but it would be a good idea. Yeah, probably by October or November, you're right. Amanda says, Southern Comfort and Pepsi on the rocks. Please. Gross. This is God talking about what happens if you don't follow the rules. And we stopped in the middle of a story last time. I should have went a couple more, but I didn't. I was tired. So we're going to pick up in the middle of a thought. So just remember, he's in the middle of telling people what's going to happen if they don't do things the way he says to do. Chapter 26, 36. I need to fix my chat, and then I'm ready to go. Amanda says, I want chicks too, but too many cats. Oh, they'll get used to them. That is a thing, but once they've been around a while, they'll get used to them. You just have to get them accustomed to it. And it reads, and upon them that are left alive of you, I will send a faintness into their hearts in the lands of their enemies. And the sound of a shaken leaf shall chase them, and they shall flee, as fleeing from a sword, and they shall fall when none pursueth. In other words, God is saying he's going to scare the bejesus out of them with nothing. Just he's going to play tricks on their mind, and they're going to pretty much run themselves into the ground trying to get away from nothing that isn't chasing them. And they shall fall upon one another, as it were a sword, when none pursueth, and you shall have no power to stand before your enemies. And you shall perish among the heathen, and the land of your enemies shall eat you up. And they that are left of you shall pine away in their iniquities in your enemies' land, And also in the iniquities of their fathers shall they pine away with them. Pining is an old word that means belly aching. It means to ponder on and worry about, think about for a long periods of time. You know, like if you just started dating a girl and then she goes to another country for a week and you sit there pining over her all week long, that's what that means, that sort of thing, so that you understand. And he's saying that'll happen to you. And if they shall confess their iniquities and the iniquities of their fathers with their trespass, which they trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies, if then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, but only if you be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquities. You have to accept what's coming to you. This is the mark of an adult, being able to face what's coming to you. Stand up and face the music, as it were. You know you got it coming. Accept responsibility for the wrong you've done. Admit that you did wrong, and accept the punishment that's coming without, resisting. Then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember. And I will remember the land only when you humble your heart, your uncircumcised heart. What does that mean, uncircumcised? It means that your heart hasn't been cut to fit around God's word. It means that you are of the land, of the world, and you haven't accepted God as your personal savior of your life. You know what I'm saying? It's basically what an uncircumcised heart is walking a straight and narrow path and denying your flesh so that your spirit can increase. Only when you humble yourself will God remember his covenant with Jacob, Isaac, and Abraham and remember the land. That is a good lesson for us to learn because that's our problem. We're not humble. We think we're God in most cases, and we're not. And he is fed up to hear with us. If we would humble ourselves and be still and know that he is the Lord and allow him the authority due him, he would remember the promise he made to this world and he would keep it. Remember, Abraham's land is supposed to be flowing with milk and honey. By that I mean Canaan, but it's not. Why is it not? God said it would be. Why isn't it? Because it came with a condition. If you do such and such, then you will have a land inherited that's flowing with milk and honey. Clearly, they did not follow the script. They did not keep themselves with God. And so they paid that price. If they will humble their uncircumcised hearts and confess their iniquities and accept what's coming to them, then God will soften up and have mercy on them, but not unless. The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, and she lieth desolate without them, the land. And they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquities, even because they despised my judgments, and because their soul abhorred my statutes. Meaning, I'm going to have it the way I want it, whether you're there or not. If you'll do what I told you to do, you can be there and enjoy it. Or the land will enjoy the Sabbaths without you, and you will die. That's the idea here. And yet, for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away. Even then, I will not completely abandon you. Neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly. I'll destroy them, but not utterly. To break my covenant with them, for I am the Lord their God after all. That's the implication here. What he's saying is, even if I allow you to be taken by your enemies, even if I allow you to have to suffer your iniquities, I'm not going to completely abandon you. I can't stay mad at you, Israel. Even though you're being punished, I am still your God. I'm not going to let them completely destroy you. You're going to get a hard knock, that's for sure. But you will not be destroyed utterly. You can bounce back. You will bounce back eventually. And when you do, God will be there waiting. But until then, you're going to have to suffer a little because you're hard-headed. Because you don't learn from your mistakes. Because you're hard-headed, you're stiff-necked. God continues, but I will for their sakes remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their God. I am the Lord. That's why he did it. He wanted to be their God. He wanted to love them and have them love him. And so he continues to remind them, these are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel in the Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when a man shall make a singular vow, the persons shall be for the Lord by thy estimation. And thy estimation shall be of the male for 20 years old, even unto 60 years old. Even thy estimation shall be 50 shekels of silver after the shekel of the sanctuary. In other words, if a man makes a vow, he has to keep it. And if he doesn't, he's indebted to the person he made the vow to for a certain value. 20 shekels, 20 pure shekels. Because, and he'll hold that debt even till he's 60 years old. until he pays it off. And if it be a female, then thy estimation shall be 30 shekels. Why? Because females are extra nasty. The kind of things they do that are wrong, the promises they break, those are the things that hurt the most. That's why, 30 shekels. And if it be from 5 years old even unto 20 years old, then thy estimation shall be of the male 20 shekels, and for the female 10. Because before a woman reaches the age of maturity, she is innocent, and therefore not vindictive and spiteful. After puberty, it's a little different. You know you're right. You know I'm right. God knew that too. He created you after all. And if it be from a month old even unto 5 years old, then thy estimation shall be of the male 5 shekels of silver, and of the female thy estimation shall be 3 shekels of silver. And if it be from 60 years old and above, if it be a male, thy estimation shall be 15 shekels, and for the female 10 shekels. So it covers the whole gambit of making vows, from birth to death, pretty much. But if he be poorer than thy estimation, if you look at him and you think that he's worth a certain amount, and he's not, then he shall present himself before the priest, and the priest shall value him. According to his ability that vowed, shall the priest value him. In other words, if you're able to work, you can work it off. And if you're not, we'll come up with something else. But you're going to pay off your debt, the debt that you vowed. And if it be a beast, whereof a man bring an offering unto the Lord, all that any man giveth of such unto the Lord shall be holy. He shall not alter it, nor change it, a good for a bad, or a bad for a good. If he shall at all change beast for beast, then it and the exchange thereof shall be holy. In other words, a sacrifice is a sacrifice. It doesn't matter what you do with it, but you shouldn't do anything. You shouldn't change it out. But if you do, then both beasts should be killed and be holy. Don't get caught up in that kind of scandal, though. And if it be any unclean beast of which they do not offer a sacrifice unto the Lord, then he shall present the beast before the priest, and the priest shall value it, whether it be good or bad, as thou valuest it, who art the priest, so shall it be. In other words, you can't offer it for a sacrifice, but you could sell it and make your money. The priest will value it and give you a good appraisal of what it's worth, and maybe you can make your money back. But if he will at all redeem it, then he shall add a fifth part thereof unto thy estimation. You owe a little more because you didn't do it the right way. You tried to skimp out and bring an unclean beast in here. We got to sell that, so it's going to cost more because it's going to take longer to get the value of your vow back. The value broke, in other words. And when a man shall sanctify his house to be holy unto the Lord, then the priest shall estimate it, whether it be good or bad. As the priest shall estimate it, so shall it stand, because the priest's word is the authority on this subject, given to him by God, or by Moses by way of God. And if he that sanctified it will redeem his house, then he shall add a fifth part of the money of thy estimation unto it, and it shall be his. In other words, if your house is all you've got to barter with, if you broke a promise of a vow, and you don't have anything to pay it back but your house, well, you're going to owe a little bit more than you did to start with, but the house, if it's good, if the priest says it's worth it, you can add that to the fifth part of the vow that you still owe and come up with it. And if a man shall sanctify unto the Lord some part of a field of his possession, then thy estimation shall be according to the seed thereof. What grows in that field? Does it produce anything? An homer of barley seed shall be valued at 50 shekels of silver. I don't know how many rows or crops a homer of barley seed will plant, but if the field will hold that many, it's a measurement, is what he's saying. And if he sanctifies his field from the year of Jubilee, which means the year he got it back, according to thy estimation shall it stand. It was already appraised because it was given back to him, because it was already lost before. But that's like putting an item of yours in a pawn shop and then making payments on it for a year to keep it from getting gone, and then finally going and getting it back. You've got 3 times the value of the item in it now because you've spent a year just keeping it in pawn shop. You finally get it back, and then a month later you pawn it again and go through that same process again. That's what he's talking about, basically. And if he sanctify his field after the Jubilee, and then the priest shall reckon unto him the money according to the years that remain on the Jubilee, even unto the year of Jubilee. It shall be abated from thy estimation. So if you're 10 years into the Jubilee, it's every 50 years. So if you're 10 years in, you've only got 40 years left for that property to be his, and then he has to give it back to you. So that affects the value of it that he would pay you, or take off of your debt, rather, because he's not going to be able to keep it the whole 50 years, you see. So it's less value. It's worth less. So much more that you have to come up with. And if he will not redeem the field, or if he have sold the field to another man, it shall not be redeemed anymore. No, because it's not his anymore. That's not fair. You can't barter with something that doesn't belong to you. But the field, when it goeth out in the Jubilee, shall be holy unto the Lord as a field devoted. The possession thereof shall be the priest's. Yes. As it goes out of the Jubilee. If he gets it the whole 50 years, it is acceptable. But it belongs to the priest now for 50 years. And if a man sanctify unto the Lord a field which he hath bought, which is not of the fields of his possession, which means he didn't inherit it, he bought it extra, this extra property, then the priest shall reckon unto him the worth of thy estimation, even unto the year of the Jubilee, as he shall give thine estimation in that day as a holy thing unto the Lord. One thing I need to make clear, you only get back in the Jubilee that which is part of your inheritance. You understand me? All of the families that came out of Egypt, the 12 tribes and all of their families, according to their house, received a portion of land in Canaan for their inheritance. And on that portion of land, there were things that were valuable, such as food and grapes, vineyards, houses, that sort of thing. Each person, it was parceled out to them. Each person got a section of land according to their house and their family. And so that's their inheritance. That's their wealth. So they started out as a wealthy country, all landowners, right? All people of established nature, because they all have land. So if they lose that land, in 50 years it has to be given back to them because it's their inheritance. The other person can keep it and profit from it for 50 years, but then it has to go back to its original owner. Now, if you buy extra land, if you buy some of that guy's land to make your land bigger, that portion of land is yours. It don't get back to you. If you lose it, it's gone because it's part of another inheritance, you see. If you pay money for it, though, the guy who owns it gets it back in 50 years. So that's why it's not included in this deal. It's kind of an ingenious way of doing business, and it keeps families wealthy. That way they don't lose generational wealth. God knew what he was doing. Well, ain't that socialism? No, It's not, because they didn't earn it to start with. It was a gift from God. And so God is just keeping it in the family He intended it to be in, regardless of how stupid we are. In the year of the Jubilee, the field shall return unto him of whom it was bought, even unto him to whom the possession of the land did belong. Yes, because that's the way it goes. That's why you can't include that in a payment for a vow that you broke, because it doesn't belong to you. It's yours, but it's only yours until Jubilee, and then it goes back to the owner. And all thy estimations shall be according to the shekel of the sanctuary, pure. 20 gerahs shall be the shekel. I don't know what a gerah is, but 20 of them make a shekel. I don't know what a shekel is either, but it's pure gerahs. Only the firstling of the beasts, the firstborn of the beast, which should be the Lord's firstlings, no man shall sanctify it, whether it be ox, sheep, it is the Lord's. The firstborn of any animal should be sacrificed to the Lord, the male of the first year without blemish. And if it be of an unclean beast, then he shall redeem it according to thine estimation, and shall add a fifth part of it thereto, because it's unclean. It's not exactly the price that is due, so you still owe a little bit, a fifth part more, like interest. And if it be not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to thy estimation. Yeah, if he doesn't give it to you, then you go take it like a repossession and sell it and get your money's worth. Notwithstanding, no devoted thing, you can't sell anything that's devoted to God, because it belongs to God. That a man shall devote unto the Lord of all that he hath, both of man and beast, and of the field of his possession, that's his inheritance, shall be sold or redeemed. You can't do that, because that doesn't belong to you. It belongs to God. You just get to have it. Every devoted thing is most holy unto the Lord. Amen. None devoted, which shall be devoted of men, shall be redeemed, but shall surely be put to death if you try to redeem something that belongs to God, because that's theft, that's stealing. And God wrote the rules about stealing, so don't steal from him, most of all. That includes your soul, by the way. That doesn't belong to you either, so you have no right to take it, just so you know. It's not yours. You can't take it. So don't even think that way. And all the tithe of the land, whether it of seed of the land or of the fruit of the trees, is the Lord's. It is holy unto the Lord's. If you tithe it, it belongs to God and is holy. You cannot barter with it. And if a man will at all redeem anything of his tithes, he shall add thereto a fifth part thereof. And concerning the tithe of the herd, or of the flock, even of whatsoever passeth under the rod, the 10th shall be holy unto the Lord. Passeth under the rod. Amanda, look up that phrase, passeth under the rod, and let's see what that means exactly. I think I know what it means, but I want to make sure I get it right. This is why Jewish people are prosperous. That's correct. He shall not search whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change it. And if he change it at all, then both it and the change thereof shall be holy. It shall not be redeemed. Amen to that. These are the commandments which the Lord commanded Moses for the children of Israel in Mount Sinai. I'm waiting for that passeth under the rod. It's coming right now. passeth under the rod refers to an ancient method of counting and tithing livestock. So in other words, they run the sheep, that's what I thought it was, they run the sheep through a small ravine or a fence that narrows them down, and a man holds a rod over their head, and as they go over the rod, they count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's just a way of counting how many sheep are in the stable or in that particular flock. It's just like having a counter. Same kind of thing. Thank you. And that was the end of the book of Leviticus, and we begin the book of Numbers. What's that? And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the tabernacle of the congregation on the first day of the 2nd month, in the 2nd year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their polls, from 20 years old and upwards, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel. Thou and Aaron shall number them by their armies. It's time to get serious. It's time to start fighting for what's yours, folks. So it's time to pull up a census and count how many people we got here. Find everybody that's of fighting age, which is 20 years old and up, and count them. Find out how many there are in each family, by their houses and by the names of their fathers, their last names, and see what kind of army we got to work with. Because troubles are coming. And with you there shall be a man of every tribe, every one head of the house of his fathers. So the leader of that house, whoever's the patriarch of that family, should be with you. One of each. You don't have to have all of them, just have the head so that you can tell everybody what's going on and they can take it back to their families and, propagate the information. And these are the names of the men that shall stand with you. Of the tribe Reuben, Eliezer the son of Shedeur. Of the tribe Simeon, Shelumiel the son of Zurishaddai. Of Judah, Nahshon and Amminadab. Nahshon the son of Amminadab. Of Issachar, Nathaniel the son of Zur. Of Zebulun, Eliab the son of Helon. Of the children of Joseph, of Ephraim, Elishama the son of Ammihud, of Manasseh, and Gamaliel the son of Pedazur. Of Benjamin, Abidan the son of Gedoni. Of Dan, Ahiezer the son of Ammishaddai. Of Asher, Pagiel the son of Ochran. Of Gad, Elisaph, that's hard to say, Elisaph the son of Deuel. Of Naphtali, Ahira the son of Enan. And these were the renowned of the congregation, the famous people, the heads of the houses, princes of the tribes of their fathers, heads of thousands of Israel. So each man was the head or the patriarch of their family, each one that was just named of that tribe. They were the top dog in that tribe. And Moses and Aaron took these men, which are expressed by their names above, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the 2nd month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families. They gave them a structure, a hierarchy, if you will, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upwards, by their polls. As the Lord commanded Moses, so he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai. A census took place, and they were all accounted for. And the children of Reuben, Israel's eldest son, by their generations after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the numbers of their names, by their polls, every male from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Reuben, were 46,500 men. That's just men. That's one tribe. There's 12. Of the children of Simeon by their generations after their families, by the house of their fathers, those that were numbered of them according to the number of the names, by their polls, every male from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Simeon, were 59,300. That's a lot of folks. Of the children of Gad, by their generations after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Gad, 45,650 men. Of the children of Judah, by their generations after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, for 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Judah, which is the king line, were 14,600. That's 75 or 74,600. 14. That's 74,600 men. A score is 20 years, or 20. So 3 score is 20, 40, 60, plus 14 is 74. So 74,600 men. Of the children of Issachar, by their generations after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the numbers of their names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Issachar, were 54,400 men. Of the children of Zebulun, by their generations after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the numbers of their names, for 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Zebulun, were 57,400 men. It's a big damn army. Of the children of Joseph, namely, of the children of Ephraim, by their generations, Joseph's family's kind of split into two, just so you know. There's Ephraim and Manasseh. They kind of go in different directions. Those are the children of Joseph. So they're important, and they're also on separate sides of argument that happens later on. So keep that in mind, that when the division happens, they are both of the tribe of Joseph, even though they're separate. And one of them will take a half portion, a half of what they were promised, so that they don't have to go to war. And they get ridiculed for it quite a lot. They were the beta males of this group. They didn't want to fight. They wanted to be in peaceful valleys with their children and their cows, while everybody else went to war. They wanted to profit from it. They just didn't want to risk their own lives. That's a bad thing. So, namely, the children of Ephraim, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Ephraim, were 40,500. And of the children of Manasseh, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Manasseh, were 32,200. Of Benjamin, the children of Benjamin, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Benjamin, were 35,400. Of the children of Dan, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the numbers of their names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Dan, were 20, 40, 62,700 men. Of the children of Asher, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Asher, were 41,500 men. Of the children of Naphtali, throughout their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go forth to war, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Naphtali, were 53,400 men. And these are those that were numbered, which Moses and Aaron numbered, and the princes of Israel, being 12 men, each one was for the house of his father. 12 patriarchs, and all those men under each one of them. And this is very important, because the war they're going to undertake is the very essence of the freedom that they're going to endure later on. And also partially the reason the world ended up getting destroyed in the first place. Because they do not do what God told them to do exactly. So were all those that were numbered of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go forth to war in Israel, even all they that were numbered were 600,000, 3,550 men. That's a lot of men. That's a big army. 600,000, 3,500 men. That's in the millions. In case you don't know what saying thousand twice means, that's a 6-digit number. That would be like saying 600,003,550 men. That's kind of how you would say that. I think that's right. If I'm wrong, mathematicians, help me out, but I think that's what he's saying. When you say that thousand twice, isn't that what you're saying? But notice that the Levites weren't included, so that was 11, not 12. The Levites, after the tribe of their fathers, were not numbered among them. Why? Well, because they're the priests. Their job is to teach the word of God, to do the praying and the chapel work, to do the burying and the marrying and the baptizing and the exercising and the whatever it is they're supposed to do. That's their job. They bear the Ark of the Covenant. They handle God's handiwork. They minister unto the priests. They do all of that work. They manage the tabernacle. They tote the tabernacle. And for that reason, since they're bearing all of that, they don't get an inheritance because they don't go to war. But they're allowed to take up residence in anybody's inheritance. Any town they go to, there's a place for them to stay. Anywhere they go. So they got free reign of all of Canaan. They just don't get a piece of it for themselves, but there's a place for them. It's kind of a sweet deal if you ask me. You don't have to own anything. You don't have to lose anything, but you got free reign of the place. I'll take it. For the Lord had spoken unto Moses, saying, Only thou shalt not number the tribe of Levi, neither take the sum of them among the children of Israel, but thou shalt appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of the testimony, and over all the vessels thereof, and over all things that belong to it. They shall bear the tabernacle and all the vessels thereof, and they shall minister unto it, and shall encamp round about the tabernacle. And when the tabernacle goes forward, the Levites shall take it down, and when the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Levites shall set it up. And the stranger that cometh near shall be put to death. Only they get to touch those things. And all of the business that is handled therein. They get to handle the money. They get to handle the tithes and the sacrifices and the preaching and the whole 9 yards is their job. And the children of Israel shall pitch their tents, every man by his own camp, every man by his own standard or flag, throughout their hosts. What does that mean? Remember I told you the tabernacle was shaped like a cross, the way it's built, right? There's like an east wing and a west wing and a south wing and a north wing, which has a courtyard, which makes it longer. And then in the middle is the holiest of holies where the Ark of the Covenant is. And the Levites camp round about the edges of it. That's where their booths go, where their flags are, around the edges of the tabernacle. And then in every cardinal direction around the tabernacle going outwards is where the rest of the 12 tribes encamp round about it. So it looks like a big glowing cross if you're looking at it from above down to the desert floor, like a big glowing cross shifting across the desert sands. If you've ever drawn one of those crosses with the little lines that shoot out from it like light rays, that's how the tribes of Israel were situated around this cross. Pretty interesting, the iconography of it, so many years before Christ would be nailed to one. But it's there, almost like God knew it was coming. And the children of Israel shall pitch their tents. I read that one. But the Levites shall pitch round about the tabernacle of the testimony, that there be no wrath upon the congregation of the children of Israel, and the Levites shall keep the charge of the tabernacle of testimony. That way nobody gets in a fight over who does what. It's already settled. The Levites will handle it. You don't get a say. So nobody's going to be fighting over who's in charge. The Levites are in charge, and it'll stay that way. And you have to go through the Levites to get to the tabernacle because they're camped round about it. So you can't do that either. And the children of Israel did according to all the Lord commanded Moses, so did they. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, Every man of the children of Israel shall pitch his own standard or flag with an ensign or symbol of their father's house. Far off about the tabernacle of the congregation shall they pitch. And on the east side towards the rising sun shall they of the standard of the camp of Judah pitch throughout their armies. So always on the east side is where Judah is. And Nahshon, the son of Amminadab, shall be the captain of the children of Judah. He's the guy in charge, the head honcho of that tribe. And his host, and those that were numbered of them, were threescore and 14,006. And those that do pitch next unto him shall be the tribe of Issachar. And Nathaniel, the son of Zur, shall be captain of the children of Issachar. And his host, and those that were numbered thereof, were 54,400. Then the tribe of Zebulun, and Eliab, the son of Helon, shall be captain of the children of Zebulun. And his host, and those that were numbered thereof, were 57,400. And all that were numbered in the camp of Judah were 100,000 and 80,000 and 6,400. Again, in the millions. Throughout their armies. That might be pretty close to 1 billion people, or 250 million people, something like that. 100,000, 80,000. So that's 100 million, 80,000. No, that's not right. That's 486,000, 6,400. That's a big number. However you write that number out, I don't know. It says thousand twice, or 3 times rather. If it says it 3 times, that's 1 billion. If it says it twice, that's 1 million, I think. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, because I don't know. Amanda says 600,000 and 3,550 means 6,350,050. I think that's what that number is. Or 603,550. I don't know. I don't do math. So you're going to have to figure that out. I'll come to you for that advice. I read that one already. These shall first set forth. On the south side shall be the standard or flag of the camp of Reuben according to their armies, and the captain of the children of Reuben will be Eliezer, the son of Shedeur. And his host and those that were numbered thereof were 46,500. By the way, notice that Judah, the king line, is the biggest tribe by far. And I think the smallest tribe by far is Reuben or Dan, one of those two. And those which pitch by him shall be the tribe of Simeon. So they're going all the way around the tabernacle, from the east going towards the south and back around to the north, clockwise. Those that pitch by him shall be Simeon, and the captain of the children of Simeon will be Shelumiel, the son of Zurishaddai. And his host and all those that were numbered of them were 59,300. Then the tribe of Gad, and the captain of the sons of Gad shall be Eliasaph, the son of Reuel. His host and those that were numbered of them were 45,650. All that were numbered in the camp of Reuben were 100,050 and 1,450 throughout their armies. And they shall set forth in the second rank. So there's 2 rows all the way around the tabernacle. Or 3. The first row would be the Levites, and then 2 rows of the other 12, or other 11. Then the tabernacle of the congregation shall set forward with the camp of the Levites in the midst of the camp that's closest to the tabernacle. As they encamp, so shall they set forward, every man in his place by their standards or flags. On the west side shall be the standard or flag of the camp of Ephraim according to their armies, and the captain of the sons of Ephraim shall be Elishama, the son of Ammihud. His hosts and those that were numbered of them were 40,500. Maybe Ephraim is the smallest. And by him shall the tribe of Manasseh be. And the captain of the children of Manasseh shall be Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur. His host and those that were numbered of them were 32,200. Then the tribe of Benjamin, and the captain of the sons of Benjamin shall be Abidan, the son of Gideoni. Abidan and Gideoni. I think it's Abidan, Abidan, whatever. And his host and those that were numbered of them were 35,400. All that were numbered of the camp of Ephraim were 100,000 and 8,100 throughout their armies. And they shall go forward in the third rank. And the standard of the camp of Dan, or the flag of the camp of Dan, shall be on the north side of their armies. And the captains of the children of Dan shall be Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai. And his host and those that were numbered of them were 62,700. 62,700. And those that encamp by him shall be the tribe of Asher. And the captain of the children of Asher shall be Pagiel, the son of Ochran. His host and those that were numbered of them were 41,500. Then the tribe of Naphtali, and the captain of the children of Naphtali shall be Ahira, the son of Enan. All of these names, by the way, will be used later in the Bible, and it will help you to know who they are and where they come from so that you know when they die or when they live or what they do, what importance it is to the tribe. And the host, and his host and those that were numbered of them were 53,400. All they that were numbered in the camp of Dan were 100,000, and 50 is 7,600. And they shall go hindmost with their standards to the north. These are those which were numbered out of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers. All those that were numbered of the camps throughout their hosts were 600,000 and 3,550. Same number as before. Lots and lots of people in a big, big army. And by the way, these are just the men 20 and above who are ready to go to war. Remember that. That's just those people. They had parents and siblings that did not get counted. People that were under 20. Women, fathers, mothers, they were not counted. Just the men ready to go to war was 600, whatever. 600,000, 3,550. That's a big number, a big army, a big group of people. But the Levites were not numbered among the children of Israel as the Lord commanded Moses. Why? Because they're the priests. They don't get numbered. You don't even need to know who they are. Just know the guys in robes with the funny hair. You listen to them. And the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So they pitched by their standards, flags, and so they set forward, everyone after their families, according to the house of their fathers. These also are the generations of Aaron and Moses in the day that the Lord spake with Moses in Mount Sinai. And these are the names of the sons of Aaron: Nadab, the firstborn, and Abihu, and Eleazar, and Ithamar. Nadab and Abihu died because they were stupid. These are the names of the sons of Aaron, the priest which were anointed, whom he consecrated to minister in the priest's office. And Nadab and Abihu died before the Lord because they were stupid, when they offered strange fire before the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai, and they had no children. Eleazar and Ithamar ministered in the priest's office in the sight of Aaron their father, quietly and not doing anything to offend God, because they learned, because their brothers burned up by the strange fire they brought into the camp. Strange fire means fire that was offered to a false god somewhere else, to a foreign people. They brought into the camp, thought they were being kitschy, thought they were being ironic or whatever. God showed them. And Aaron couldn't say a word about it because he knew they were in the wrong. Remember, Aaron was the guy that was shaping a golden calf while Moses was on the mountain getting the 10 Commandments, talking to God, so that the Israelites could worship that golden calf instead of God. So he was already on the blacklist with God. He didn't dare say a word when God took his two sons, because he had already made that mistake, and they did it again, and God didn't think it was funny. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Bring the tribe of Levi near, it's their turn, and present them before Aaron the priest, that they may minister unto him. And they shall keep his charge, and the charge of the whole congregation before the tabernacle of the congregation, to do the service of the tabernacle. That's their job. And they shall keep all the instruments of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall charge of the children of Israel, and the charge of the children of Israel to do service of the tabernacle. And thou shalt give the Levites unto Aaron and to his sons. They are wholly given unto him out of the children of Israel. They belong to Aaron, who is the leader of the Levites. He's not a Levite himself, but he is the first high priest, because God picked him. Now, all of the Levites are under Aaron, so that makes him an honorary Levite. and his sons. They are actually of the tribe of Judah, I believe. I think Aaron and Moses are of the tribe of Judah. I might be wrong. It might be Benjamin, but I think it's Judah. But either way, they are now in charge. And thou shalt appoint Aaron and his sons, and they shall wait on their priest's office. And the stranger that cometh near shall be put to death. In other words, don't even try to help them out. Don't try to hire any outside help. It belongs to them only. If you're not a Levite, you got no business being in the church or doing any of the work. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, And I, behold, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel instead of all the firstborn that openeth the matrix among the children of Israel. Instead of taking the firstborn of every child, I just took the tribe of Levi. So that's business before about, remember, originally God said the firstborn of every family, you give that child to me. In other words, you dedicate him to me and you leave him in the priest's office. Not a sacrifice, but you don't get to raise that child, I do. Instead of that, he just took the tribe of Levi. So that is no longer a thing. You don't have to give the firstborn of your family to God anymore. He chose Levi instead. That is an important detail that most people overread because they're so stuck on God saying that you have to give the firstborn of every child that goes through the matrix or that is born to him. Well, he just did away with that rule right there. Therefore, the Levites shall be mine, because all the firstborn are mine. For on the day that I smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I hallowed unto me all the firstborn in Israel, both man and beast. Mine shall they be, I am the Lord. So he's already taken them. You don't get to give them to him. Basically, he's trading in his own property. Instead of taking the firstborn, he's taking Levi and making them kind of slaves to the tabernacle. They don't have a choice in the matter. That's their job. So it's kind of that way. But instead of the firstborn, it's the Levites. They're all his. All people are his. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, saying, Number the children of Levi after the house of their fathers by their families, every male from a month old and upwards. Shalt thou number them? That's a lot sooner. A month old. Yeah. And Moses numbered them according to the word of the Lord, as he was commanded. And these were the sons of Levi by their names, Gershon and Kohath and Merari. And these are the names of the sons of Gershon by their families, Libni and Shimei. And the sons of Kohath by their families, Amram, Ezahar, Hebron, and Uzziel. And the sons of Merari by their families, Mali and Mushi. And these are the families of the Levites according to the house of their fathers. Of Gershon was the family of the Libnites, and the family of the Shemites, and these are the families of the Gershonites. Those that were numbered of them according to the number of all the males from a month old and upwards, even those that were numbered of them were 7,500. And the families of the Gershonites shall pitch behind the tabernacle westward. And the chief of the house of the fathers of the Gershonites shall be Elisaph, the son of Lael. That's a different Elisaph. Or Elisaph, however you say that. That's a different one. Same name, different person. And the charge of the sons of Gershon in the tabernacle of the congregation shall be the tabernacle, and the tent, and the covering thereof, and the hanging of the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the hanging of the court, and the curtain for the door of the court, which is by the tabernacle, and by the altar round about, and the cords of it, and for all the service thereof. So that's their job, setting up the tent and setting up the fences and all, and the curtains. And Kohath was the family of the Amramites, and the family of the Israelites, and the family of the Hebronites, and the family of the Uzzielites. These are the families of the Kohathites. In the number of all the males from a month old and upwards were 8,600, keeping the charge of the sanctuary that's inside. The families of the sons of Kohath shall pitch on the side of the tabernacle southward. And the chief of the house of the father of the families of the Kohathites shall be Elizaphan, the son of Uzziel. And their charge shall be the ark, the ark of the testimony. It's not the covenant yet. He hasn't made it. And the table, the showbread table, and the candlestick, and the altars, and the vessels of the sanctuary, wherewith they minister, and the hanging, and all the service thereof. So all the stuff on the inside of the tabernacle is their job. And Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, shall be chief over the chief of the Levites. He's the top dog. And have oversight of them that keep the charge of the sanctuary. Now of Merari, the family of the Mahlites, and the family of the Mushites, these are the families of Merari. And those that were numbered of them, according to the number of all the males from a month old and upward, were 6,200. And the chief of the house of the father of the families of Merari was Zuriel, the son of Abihail. These shall pitch on the side of the tabernacle northward. And under the custody and charge of the sons of Merari shall be the boards of the tabernacle, and the bars thereof, and the pillars thereof, and the sockets thereof, and all the vessels thereof, and all that serveth thereto, and the pillars of the court round about, and their sockets, and their pins, and their cords. Okay, so the ones that are in charge of the coverings, put the coverings on the skeleton that these guys make. So they make the skeleton, the poles, and bind them all together, and put the bars in, and the rods, and the pins, and all of that. And then the other guys come in and put the covering over top of it and hang the curtains. And then the other guys come in and put up all the stuff on the inside and take care of that. Makes sense. But those that camp before the tabernacle towards the east, even before the tabernacle of the congregation eastward, shall be Moses and Aaron and his sons, keeping the charge of the sanctuary for the charge of the children of Israel, and the stranger that cometh near shall be put to death. Now, this is interesting because the east has always been a special place for God. He puts Moses on the east. He comes from the east. Christ returns to Jerusalem from the east. He comes to the east gate. The east is a very important place. It's a place of power. It's a place of charge in God's eyes. So always remember that the east is significant. Likewise, the west is always dark. Why? Because that's the realm of Satan. I didn't make the rules. That's just what they say. Can I get a refill on this coffee, please? Thank you very much. Uh-huh. All that were numbered of the Levites, which Moses and Aaron numbered at the commandment of the Lord throughout their families, all the males from a month old and upward, were 22,000. It's a big group of people. And the Lord said unto Moses, number all the firstborn of the males of the children of Israel from a month old and upwards, and take the number of their names. And thou shalt take the Levites for me. I am the Lord. So he's getting a count of all of the firstborn that he's not going to take, so that he can make a comparison to those that he does take, which is the Levites. I am the Lord. Instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites, instead of all the firstlings among the cattle of the children of Israel. So he's made a deal with himself here that instead of taking the first of everything, he's going to take the Levites in their place. It's a good trade. And everybody gets to live as if. And Moses numbered as the Lord commanded him, all the firstborn among the children of Israel. Amen. And all the firstborn males by the number of names from a month old and upwards of those that were numbered of them were 22,213. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites instead of their cattle. And the Levites shall be mine. I am the Lord. And that's where we're going to stop for today, ladies and gentlemen. We will pick up tomorrow night, Numbers chapter 3, verse 46. Man, what an intense, fantastic, very hard to pronounce book that was. I hope that you appreciate the effort I put into making a fool of myself in your honor. And I hope you learned something. Most of all, I hope it makes you think about what the Lord's putting together here, about what's happening in the world, about what's going on with this tribe. Most of all, I hope it causes you to want to reach out with both hands to Almighty God, your Father, and ask Him to be into your life personally. Ask Him to fix what's wrong with you and to show you the error of your ways, and ask Him what He wants from you. I promise you it will not do you wrong. While you're thinking about that, please do me a favor, if you would. Hit that subscribe button. Press the bell icon so you get notifications of when I'm going to be online. Smash that like button. It's free. It's effortless. It's right in front of you, and it really does help the channel with the algorithms. Helps us get recommended to other people, and that's what we're here to do. So won't you help me do that, please? Share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't love. Bring them into the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. Be a pro. Share the show with everybody you know. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform with me, drink my Kool-Aid. Make your own Kool-Aid as long as you're thinking critical. That's what I want. Critical thought coming from that brain of yours. And hey, if you love the Word of God and you can see the value in what I'm trying to build here and you'd like to help me build it, if you'd like to take a stand with me and try to bring the Word of God to more people, you can do that by tithing. You can do that at paypal.me/jakejohnsonband or CashApp $JakeJohnsonband. Every little bit helps. It is a win-win. Yes, it's a blessing for me. Helps me get what I need. But it's a blessing for you too, because God notices when you stand up for His cause. I promise you He does. And I show it to you every time it mentions it in the Bible. I'm going to do everything in my power to be worthy of your support. I will answer all of your questions and comments. I will be there for you 24/7, as I always am, starting right now. Okay. What do you think? Did you learn anything? Do you feel enlightened? Do you feel tired? Do you feel like you've heard words that you never want to hear again? What's going on in your brain right now? Let me know. Aaron says, Jake the cat daddy. I am the cat daddy. The big cat daddy. Be Papalua cat daddy. Amanda says, LOL, Aaron, Jake the cat pimp. Yeah, I'm pimping them cats out. April says, yummy. Amanda, I got me some miniatures. LOL. Rum, vodka, and whiskey. Oh, miniature bottles? I don't drink, so it don't help me none. I got coffee, and it's not miniature. It's big. Amanda says, nice. I need some miniatures for when I get the urge. That's all I need is a lush, as a wife. April says, that's what I did. Thursday, I drank one. It took the edge off. Ha. First drink in over 6 months. Wow. Amanda says, right. I haven't had a drink in almost 2 years. In about 2 years. Good girl. April says, you and I never really drink like that anyway. And then my chat jumped. Hang on. Thank you. You and I never really drink that way anyway. We're fine. LOL. Amanda says, right. What it is they didn't get the assignment, so they got no milk and honey. Right. They got the assignment. They just didn't complete it. They did not think that they should do what God said for them to do. And this is a bone of contention to this day, because you'll hear atheists say, what kind of a God would order a genocide? That's not a fair God. Hold on there. First of all, this is his sandbox. He can do whatever he wants to in it, and it's okay because it's his, not yours. You don't have the authority to say that. And number two, the people he said to kill every man, woman, child, and animal were not human beings. They didn't belong here. Therefore, leaving some of them alive is what caused the problem in the future that we had to deal with, which ultimately ended in the flood. Amazing. These people have been here forever. They're not humans. They shouldn't be on this planet. God did not design this place for them. And yet, when they had the chance to take them out, they didn't do it. They did it half-assed. They did most of it, but they let some of them live, and they recuperated and gained in numbers, and now they're overtaking again. That's the nature of what happens when you don't nip it in the bud. No milk and honey. And then what it says concerning the Jubilee and the prosperity of the people who got the inheritance, is this why the Jewish people are prosperous? Yes. That's exactly why. Because the deck is stacked in their favor. They started out with generational wealth, and then they had laws that keep them in generational wealth, which means they can only get wealthier. That is correct. And it is ingrained in them to be prosperous. God gave them the wherewithal to be number-oriented and prosperous-oriented, profit-oriented. That's why they are the way they are. They think the way they think. Everything is based on that Jewish shekel, and it's set in their DNA. They can't avoid it. They're prosperous by the very nature of existing. A man that says, passeth under the rod is a way of counting the livestock and tithing the livestock. Thank you. Welcome to the book of Numbers. Thank you. April says, interesting. Great read, Jake. Numbers now. Amen. Thank you. Amanda says 1 shekel equals 20 gerahs, 11.4 grams. A sanctuary shekel is 11.4 grams of pure silver. It's worth about $30 today. 30 pieces of silver. A piece of silver worth $30. See how it's flipped? And silver is 2.6 per gram. $2.6 per gram currently. Roughly. Or $2.60 per gram. So 11.4 grams is about 15 bucks. Amanda says, LOL, I love hearing Jake pronounce these names. I know, right? April says, LOL, just don't let me do math. It's a bad thing. I'm math stupid. I spent all my time getting smart in other areas and missed the whole math thing. April says, LOL. Amber says, Miss Hammer, smiley, smiley. What it is says 74,600. That's a lot of soldiers. It's even more than that. April says, wow. And Amanda says 600,000 and 3,550 means 603,550 men. 100,000, 4,000 equals 80,000. Yep, 20, 40, 60, 80. That's correct. 4 equals 20, 4 times 20 equals 86,000. 400 equals 400 total. 100,000 plus 80,000, 6,000 plus 400 equals 186,400. That's a lot of people. What it is says, if twice would be 1.26 million. And that's right. Amanda says 100,000 and 4,000 and 600,000 and 400. That's a lot of people. I don't know if it's a million or billion, but it's more than 1,000. April says, whoa, that's a lot. I mean, it is. What it is says, so is it one of the Judah that was actually Judah that betrayed? No. Judah is a tribe name. Judas is a person's name. Not Judah, Judas. Different name. And I don't know what tribe he was from. You could do some research and find out the people of Iscariot. Iscariot is a place. Judas of Iscariot. And you could find out who settled in that area and probably divine what tribe he was from. I'm not sure. I don't know that it ever says. You might could do a Google search. Maybe somebody's figured it out, what tribe Judas was from. But Judah is the name of a son who had children, and all of his children grew into a tribe of people that are worth several 100,000 people under that one guy. Hope that made sense. Jesus was of the tribe of Judah. So was King David. It is the king line, so all kings come from the tribe of Judah. All priests come from the tribe of Levi. And so on. Amber says, that's a shit ton of people. 100%, yes. April says, I agree. And great read, Jake. Thank you, April. Thank you for listening. I hope you appreciated it. Bill says, great read. Thanks, Jake. Good night, all. Bill, God bless you, my friend. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. And I appreciate that compliment. Amber says, take a few deep breaths, Jake. Right. Amanda says, great read, Jake. Thank you. And thank you for listening. And thank you for looking up those words for me. April says, looking forward to tomorrow. Me too. Kevin says, good read, Jake. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you listening. April says, amen. Prayers and hearts. Amber says, that was lots and even more people. Whoa. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. I know I'm out of breath. Amber says, hearts and smiley faces. April says, yes, feeling tired, LOL. Linda says, thank you, Jake. Thank you, Linda. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got something out of it. Thank you for listening. April says, yes, I love coffee, too. Me, too. Amanda says, LOL, I'd never be a lush. Good. Good, because that's not very attractive. April says, she's no lush. We don't drink like that. I don't mind somebody that drinks a little bit. I just don't need a drunk. Amanda says, tell him, April. Thanks. And even when I do drink, I only have one, maybe two drinks. That's acceptable. April says, yeah, same here, Amanda. Haha. Whole lot of coping going on here. Methinks you protested too much. Amber says, I was awesome with math until they added the alphabet. Algebra, right? I've never been good at math. I just, numbers don't stick in my head. Words do. I'm a language expert. So much so that I can translate other languages and so forth. But I can't remember numbers to save my life. They just won't stick. I am math illiterate. April says, thanks, Amanda. I appreciate you looking that up. I learned something. Seriously, that's cool. Back then, times were so much harder, I'm sure. I can't imagine, and I don't want to. Whoa. But they were harder in some areas. Amber says, thank y'all for spending Mother's Day evening with me. And, of course, thank you, Miss Hammer, for sharing Jake. Thank you, Amber. And happy Mother's Day. April says, you're welcome, April. And April says, no math whiz here either, LOL. I know the basics. I don't even know the basics. I can add. That's about it. I got to use a calculator for everything else. I am not a businessman. I'm an artist. April says, Amber, sweetie, you're welcome. Love and hugs. And Amanda says, Judas, the Bible does not directly name his tribe, but strong clues point to Judah. So maybe he was from the tribe of Judah. I don't know. It would make sense, being that he's part of the story and integral part of turning Jesus in and getting that whole ball rolling. It would make sense that he's part of the whole story. April says, yes, always appreciate. Love. Good night, Bill, hun. And Debbie says, I reconcile all my accounts down to the penny every month. I have to know math. I hear you. I don't have an account. I have whatever comes my way. That's it. April says, LOL, Debbie. I understand that. And April says, LOL at Jake. I'm not a perfect man. I have my flaws just like everybody else does. What it is says, so Mary was actually from the tribe of Judah. If it was an immaculate conception, that would make Jesus from the tribe of Judah. Now see, you're thinking. Let me explain this to you. The reason that God picked Mary wasn't because she was a hot little teen with a nice bod, which is what they like to try and implicate why he took care of a 13-year-old girl. That's not why he picked her. He picked her because her DNA was perfect. Now, you have to understand, all the way back in the Garden of Eden was Adam and Eve, whose DNA were perfect because God created Eve from Adam, perfect DNA, right? Their offspring were supposed to be Cain and Abel, and from Abel, Christ. But the devil stepped in and caused Cain to kill Abel. And as if that wasn't enough, he stepped in before that and impregnated Eve with Cain. So Cain was of his father, the devil, and the first murderer, killing Abel, destroying that perfect bloodline. So they had to compromise and go through Seth, Seth being the third born of the two. Now, through that tribe, it went all the way through the Bible to Heli and Maria. Heli was of the tribe of Judah, and Maria was the tribe of Levi. 100%. They got married and had a child, and their child's name was Mary. Heli and Levi, and Maria. She was 50% Judah and 50% Levite. Got it? That's perfect DNA. That is 50% king, 50% priest. You see what's happening here? Her son would be 100% king and priest if God overshadowed her and got her pregnant. If another man wasn't involved. If God's DNA got into Mary, who was 50% of each, her son would be perfect for Christ. So it took that long for the DNA to be fixed after Satan interrupted in the Garden of Eden. And so that's why he picked Mary, because she had perfect DNA. Christ's DNA is 100% king and 100% Lord. That's who he is. That's why he is who he is. See what I'm saying? I hope that helps. Amanda says, you're welcome, Amber, smiley face. And Debbie says, I had to explain several times how something can be 700 times cheaper when 100% cheaper would make it free when Trump lowered prescription prices. That means nothing to me. It just all costs money. April says, oh, Jake, You're a wise and super intelligent person. I've learned a lot from you. Well, thank you, dear. I appreciate that. It's not mine. God gave it to me, and it's all his. I give him all the credit. April says, oops, typo. You mean you didn't mean any of that? I meant super wise and intelligent. That's what I read. But thank you. You see how he's explaining this? Wow, it's a blessing. I love it. Well, thank you, April. And I appreciate that. And it's my pleasure to do so and my honor. And I don't take it lightly. And April says, thanks, Jake. You know how to read through the typos sometimes. Aaron says, my brother called me. It was nice. That is nice. I hope he's doing well. And I hope that you guys had a good conversation. April says, I appreciate you too. Well, I appreciate you too. Thank you very much. April says, nice, Aaron. What'd you guys talk about? Anything you want to dish about? Anything you want to share? Aaron says, yeah, I was listening to the read with one speaker and him and the other. Hey, you do what you got to do, buddy. April says, how's your daughter, Aaron? Aaron says, and my mom, just old stories. And Layla? I don't know who Layla is, but I hear you. Old stories and Layla. And no, I'm saying that I put you on speaker and listen to the show with him. Oh, I see. Well, what did he think? Aaron says, my daughter is good, April. Maybe you can get him to come to the next one. That'd be nice. Get some family in here. Get them involved. April says, great love, heart. I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, I hope I give you something to think about there, what it is. And that's called the Key of David, by the way. If you understand the lineage of Christ and how he came to be, then you understand all of the Bible, because the whole Bible is about that one bloodline, that one family all the way through, from Adam to Christ, and the people that interweave in and out of that bloodline. That's what the whole book is about. Aaron says, I talk about you guys all the time. Thank you. I talk about you too. And Aaron says he likes it and knows who you are. Excellent. Well, I don't know who he is. Introduce us. Aaron says, how was your family, April? April? Bueller? April says, they are good. I'm expecting a granddaughter in July. Yay. That's fantastic. Aaron says, I'll introduce you, Jake, next time he calls. I'm looking forward to it. April says, I'm excited. I'm excited for you. A granddaughter? That's nice. Aaron says, oh, dang. April says, yes. Amanda says, who's having a baby, April? Sorry, my phone just blew up. Who's having a baby? Aaron says, will you meet the baby, Jake? If I'm around it, I will. Yeah. April says, so a boy and a girl now. That's fantastic. I'm grateful. At least somebody in our family's having grandbabies. April says Devin and Shauna. I don't know if I know Shauna, but I know who Devin is. April says, oh, okay, good. April says, I have a boy, girl, also a good mix. Aaron says, I have a boy and a girl also, good mix. So do I, one of each. I got 3 kids, one of each. April says, yeah, they're doing good. Shauna has been with Devin for almost 2 years now. Well, God bless them. I hope they have a long and fruitful life together and have many children. That's what we need, more kids. More kids and better parents. And a whole bunch of them. Aaron says, my son used to have a bully named Devin. Yep. I hope that he grew up and knocked his block off. That's how you handle bullies. Take them down a peg or two. April says, Shauna has a boy and a girl also, 4 and 7 years old. And they are sweet. So they got a pretty big built-in family then. Amanda says, is CJ excited? Yeah, he's getting a sister, right? And April says CJ is excited. I bet he is. I bet he is. I had both of mine so close together, they never knew a life without each other, so. But I imagine it's a exciting thing to have a sibling coming into the world. Amanda says, good, I'm glad. He will protect her. Yes, he will. April says, now he has 3 brothers and 3 sisters, LOL. That's a big family. Aaron says, I made the kid come over and play with my son. Devin's parents agreed, and now they're lifelong friends. That's how you do it. Either you fight it out or you work it out, but you can't let them be bullies. Usually a bully is caused because they got a problem in their life, and that's the only way they can gain any control. You really can't blame a bully. Because most of them are created out of some sort of trauma. Aaron says, Jake, what do you think is the most simplest book in the Bible? And what is the most complicated book in the Bible, and why? Well, the most complicated book in the Bible is either Genesis or Revelations, and for obvious reasons. Genesis being the creation of the world, and Revelations being the destruction of it. The simplest book in the Bible are probably the Gospels, because it's very simple. Jesus came, he lived, he taught, and he died. And then he came back. Maybe that's a good answer. I don't know. The book of Esther is pretty simple. There's a couple of Old Testament books in the very end of the Old Testament that are pretty simple. April says, well, Aaron has 4 kids. CJ was the only one that came from Devin. Yeah. If they grew up together, they're siblings. It don't matter if they're full or half. My sister's my half-sister, and we've never looked at it any other way than she's my sister. So. Job is the most gruesome, says Amanda. It's pretty gruesome. April says she already had 2 boys, and CJ was the 3rd. Taylor, her baby girl, which is now 5, was born last golly, they are grown fast. They're grown so fast, yes. And yep, I claim them all, as you should. And I love them all. Well, they're babies. They don't know any better. They're just whatever family they're in, that's what family they're in. Aaron says, you know the movie The Book of Eli? Is it true to the Bible? I've never read it. Or did they Hollywoodize it? No, it is not true to the Bible. It's not even about the Bible. It's a made-up character with the name of somebody in the Bible. But it's a good movie. Is Job more gruesome than the crucifixion? Yes. Except he doesn't die. April says, Shauna's kids, her daughter's name is Tatum, and Luke is her son, and they are beautiful kids. She has a daughter named Tatum? Isn't that a boy's name? I don't know. Sounds like it, though. But whatever. It's different. April says, Job was very intense. It is. It's very intense. He lost everything, all of his children, all of his property. This is a well-off, very rich, very righteous man, blessed by God in every area. He lost all of his children, all of his animals, all of his land, and his wife. And then he got sick and boils all over his body, and his skin turned black, and he was like right next to death and in a very lot of pain. And this is all based on a bet between God and Satan that Satan could make him curse God, and he never did. And so God gave him back everything he lost tenfold or sevenfold. Amanda says, there are a few biblical movies, Aaron, that are good. They are good. They're not biblical, though. You got to get that out of your head. The Bible is biblical. Everything that's made based on the Bible is Hollywoodized, dramatized. So don't learn from movies. Watch them for entertainment, but learn from the Bible. Aaron says, I thought it was about the Bible because he was supposed to be protecting the Old Testament, and his care in the Bible, and the guy's supposed to be the devil, and I'm glad that I cleared that up. No, it's not about the Bible, no. It's just a Hollywood movie that takes elements from the Bible and makes a good movie out of it. It is a good movie. It's not biblical. There are some good lessons in that movie, though, but they're not biblical. It's just a good movie. April says, he went through it. OMG. He did that. I guess my sisters are watching. Hello, Missy. She doesn't like to text in the chat. Amanda said, oh, wait, where are we at? April says, he went through it. OMG. Yes, he did. Aaron says, Amanda, I like the Charlton Heston 10 Commandments a lot. That's a good one, too. But the Book of Eli is a great movie, says Amanda. It is a good movie. Not biblical, though. April says, there is a movie called Jesus. It's a good one. I'll look it up for you. Yeah, Jesus of Nazareth. I've seen it. The Passion is better. Amanda says, hi, Sister Missy. Yeah, he carries the Bible in his mind, which is a good story. It doesn't happen like that in the Bible, though. The Passion is a great movie. I cried, says Amanda. We all did. I cried, and then as I walked out of the theater, there was a camera in my face, and I got interviewed right after I watched that movie and got put on the news. I was a popular guy back then. So, somewhere out there's a tape of me telling them. They asked me if I thought it should have been rated R, or if I should allow, if I thought parents should allow children to come watch that movie because it's rated R. And I said, no, I think you should take your children to Sunday school and let them start there. This is a movie for adults, and it's intense. That's what the interview was about. Anyway. Aaron says, I watched Passion of Christ, and my problem was I had a hard time understanding it. I guess I need a better understanding of the Bible, and then you had to read the subtitles. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. You should already know this story. You don't need to read the subtitles. Yes, it's in Hebrew. It's in Hebrew for a reason, because they want you to focus on Christ, not the dramatization. You already know the story if you've read the Gospels. You know what's happening. You know he's being led to his crucifixion. So you can focus on the acting and the drama and the emotions that are happening. You don't need to worry about what's being said, because it's pretty, there's a few places where it goes off script, but it's pretty biblically correct. It pretty much follows the the New Testament's gospel. Understood. Amanda says, watch the movie, and then when you don't understand it, write it down and research it, Aaron, or get Jake. That's what I'm here for. I'm always here to answer your questions, always. Linda says, I call my daughter Moon. It's her middle name. She took my handwritten I love you, Moon, and had it tattooed under her heart. She has me crying. Oh, isn't that sweet? That's an adorable story. Aaron says, I'll have to do that, but I still understood like most of it. Like when they were hitting him and stuff, I just got a little confused with the trial with Pontius and how they got him to the execution. Okay. Well, here's what you should do. You should get your Bible and read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Just read those 4 books and read them until you understand them. And then go back and watch that movie, and you'll see all the elements of it unfold. I didn't understand the demon guy in the background either, like who he was supposed to represent. Well, that was supposed to be Satan. And that was the Hollywoodization of that movie, because that's not biblical. But the words are pretty much word for word biblical. But they did dramatize it a little bit, and it's because you needed to know what was at stake. You needed to understand that Christ was being tempted, and so they put that character there to represent that. So, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's very close. The idea comes across anyway. And Aaron says, Linda Hart. And April puts up a link. What is this link for? There it is, Aaron. What is that, the Passion? And watch that. It is great. Debbie says, watch The Lamb is a pretty intense song by Ray Bowles. Watch the Lamb? I don't think I've ever heard it. Ray Bowles. I'll look it up. Aaron says, thank you, April. I will watch it. I will also rewatch Passion of the Christ because I was smaller when I watched it, and now I have the focus and understanding to watch it the right way. There you go. Before you watch it, though, read the Gospels. That way you'll have it in your head. That way you won't be tripped up on the words so much, because they are speaking in Aramaic, and If you're reading the subtitles, you're not looking at the screen seeing what's happening. It's easier to watch that movie by watching the story unfold and not worry about the words, because the words are what is in the Bible. So it's not like you're going to miss anything. It's what's in the Bible. And that's the way I looked at it anyway. Linda says, my son had my name tattooed in the same place when I was diagnosed with cancer, and sometimes it amazes me that they love me the way they do. I really am blessed. Well, you're lovable, Linda. You're a good mom and a good friend and a good woman and a good patron. I don't see why they wouldn't love you that much. And you are blessed. And it's good that you recognize that. April says, no, it's not The Passion, but it's an awesome movie. It's the one that everyone will understand. Are you talking about Jesus of Nazareth? It is a good movie. Amanda says, I was going to say, rewatch it now, Aaron, and you have a lot more understanding than you did. Yeah. April says, yes, I agree, Amanda. And April says, oh, Linda, we love you. Truly a blessing to know you. It's truly a blessing to have you here with us, too. We wouldn't be the same without you. God bless you. And happy Mother's Day. I'm not getting a tattoo, though. But I love you. All right, boys and girls, it's 10:13. I got to go to bed. I got to get up and go to work in the morning. I love you all truly. I hope you had a blessed, happy Mother's Day today. I hope that every one of you had the day you deserve. I truly do. God bless each and every one of you. I can't wait to see you tomorrow night. Like, subscribe, share, support, join the Super Chat if you can. Feed Jake. And be nice to people. That's the best advice I can give. And watch The Passion. It'll renew your faith in God. Aaron says, I couldn't imagine carrying the cross, getting beat, and having a guy I ate would deny me 3 times. The guy I ate with would deny me 3 times. That part made me sad. It made Christ sad, too. And it made Peter sad when he did it. Because Christ told him he was going to do it, and he said he wouldn't do it, and he did it. And then he realized that Christ knew more than he thought he did. Yeah, it's a very intense movie. Amanda says, Nighters all. See you tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Untethered Live for a Bible study. Much love, y'all, and happy Mother's Day. Or happy Mother's birthday. Happy Mother's Day. And Linda says, I'm shocked they did. Well, they do, because you're lovable. Same reason I love you. April says, it's a Jesus movie that I can watch over and over again. I love you all, sweet dreams, and God bless. Mwah. Hugs. April, I love you too. Amanda says, Mother's Day. I got it. And Linda says, good night, and until tomorrow night, I love you all. I love you too. Thank you for being here. Happy Mother's Day. April says, see y'all tomorrow. Good night, and God bless everybody. Until next time, I bid you adieu.